Yep.
Okay, so I'll make four right now then.
And then you guys do one.
It is.
Right.
It is getting really bad.
Did you get out of the ice?
Did I get out of the ice? Yeah. I tell you what, it's coming down pretty good out there.
That's what I've been told. So.
I was kind of hoping for spring.
Somebody sent me a picture on Facebook that had an old barn, and then right on the corner of the barn was a big old huge tractor spring or something, some kind of a strut or something. Underneath it, she put spring is just around the corner. So funny.
Yeah, she quit drinking.
I know, but it wasn't worth it. Yeah, ran down to get this and I got on the chair. Got out of the car yesterday and slammed my face in the car door.
So we need to make sure we sign it.
Yeah.
And now I got both of my gloves.
Pins.
No, not, I mean, it's not.
That's in the
Well,
car.
Chad, and his change orders, you have to look at
Well, I was trying to make sure I got the can on the.
So he can get out, he's not on the agenda because
But night, I was marking blue marks all over
Sorry.
my head.
What are you sorry about?
I about hit you, I threw my gum away. I am excited.
I'm gonna be a pan and rear and sit next to you because I gotta get out here.
By the heater, you can sit here. I was just making room for everybody.
Good work today? Good feeling?
I had a wage work
So
now
move over.
back in Joliet.
Oh, that ain't bad.
I know, we're trying to do
Well, I
that.
did go out there and flat, just coming down the back.
Is it?
Oh, God. I was, oh, I left, I thought,
Well,
this is a piece of cake. Then I got about halfway here and I thought, I already did it.
Well, they had the sledge
I thought, this is flipping scary now. Can I make it back?
Brenda said happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
and I knew
How you doing? Good, how you doing? Good.
historian and zoning, yeah, so Jeremy.
Hey, how's it going?
Came with Nate.
Hey, we're here.
Oh my God.
I think there is to be more coming. Not even 7 o'clock yet.
We're gonna have to rearrange this room somehow.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Good to see you.
Yeah, I think so.
Great, 2 more days. 2 more days.
There'll be more people coming in.
Just another day.
Actually, Jerry's.
Okay, so not to do anything special?
Oh, sure.
You gotta be charged us out, Jerry.
Yeah, I think it's, what, cars.
He said that you have to be charged us out.
Maybe not even rest. Well, maybe.
Makes sense how we
So he
have to
can
stick
get
down
out
here.
there and then Chad.
Did you say you had to leave early,
Mines
Tammy?
with the well.
Just as soon as we get
So
down.
we're gonna do that just before, just after.
And I gotta feed it all the way back to Joliet, next flight coming down.
You're not going to
Yeah,
back
I
on
don't
the
blame
road.
you.
No, I can't go back road, but I can't go back for that, because I know those back roads will not forget.
Yeah.
It's worse than here.
I know, I gotta pour it out, basically.
I've been back an hour or two, and it just really is frustrating.
Long way from my heart. We live in Montana, don't you?
you driving around?
I'm
I'm sure when Wade's home, I'll be
You
out.
bring it up whenever you say to there.
Well, if it gets really bad, I told them at the school, I
Yeah,
would
right
keep
after
it back that way, but I still have to make it to the bank. I mean, I don't just put it away.
You have a meeting tonight?
Yeah.
You have a meeting?
No, they'll be open. You can't have it dirty when they're open.
Oh, you were in it?
No, honey, I just go there and hang out.
There we go.
What's that, Mr. Bill? Is it growing?
Yeah, it's fuzzy.
Everybody sent it
This is cool.
in? They haven't
I'm
signed
talking
it
about
up
my
in
hand.
front.
Okay. I'll send it up there.
Okay. I think we've got everybody right here though so far.
Jeremy, you gotta go? We gotta go? Good, good.
Okay. I promise I don't bite, you know that.
Well, we don't know about Bill though.
Yeah.
Last one.
The second
This one? Okay.
Yeah, they're
Down by the, approved by the funding agency.
no,
Look like
the middle owner accepted by the owner. Right next to where I signed this way.
Up here, okay.
You're gonna pass it all back around.
You have the original copy, I'll give you, the original copy is the one I've got.
Well, it's a copy of this. You can just sign it.
Happy birthday Saturday. Isn't it Saturday? Saturday.
She says that.
He says it's just another
How did I
day.
know,
Do you
right?
know when you
How did I know?
Brenda knows everything.
Told me the other morning, I said, you told me the other morning when I was over
And
there.
then I'd go outside.
It was about being Bible.
Around the balance, get everything. Solid ice. Yeah. See you drive in. What time did you leave? All the way. What time did you go in?
On the other side of the.
Just read that out, describe you by 3. It was 4. She was in there by 9:30.
You made it back,
It
though?
was freezing.
The teacher over in John, yeah, she's staying at her mom's house tonight.
No,
because
Billings, they just got evened out, just stayed ice.
She
They're
can't,
just pure ice.
she didn't want to
But
fight
that
that
got worse
morning.
this way.
And then
Not a whole lot.
her mom went into town, so her mom's staying at
They
her
had that
house.
highway blocked off.
Right out there?
There was nobody around.
Oh, they probably
They had it
don't
blocked off all the way on the other side of the
Yeah.
Laurel says it wasn't bad, just from Laurel on.
Yeah, that's what Taylor said. Just Menalowzo
Yeah,
too.
we didn't get it here, I thought, well, we got it.
But somebody said that they had an accident. I don't know, it's off ramp, which way they going to shine.
Me.
But he was past that before.
Some of the people just, they don't respect the messages. That's a good
And I've had it like that. The only thing I had to try to shovel out was a cookie sheet. That was pretty funny. So then I had to call word break.
Sit up there. Yeah, there's a couple of places up there. And
And he shoveled.
he needs to sign it. I'm not the signer person, but I think it's up front.
Oh, Mom's got it.
Well, Mom has it.
Send it up this way.
Yeah, they did because I saw it.
Good job, Danny.
I think we're about as close as we're gonna get.
It's not 7. Oh, Oh, we've got it back there. I don't know if they signed up front, but I think they did. Is their names on there? Okay, thank you. I'll just, well, let's see if anybody got a call in. Yeah. Hey, gosh, we saved your place.
No, you gotta sit up there with those
There's
privileges.
another, yeah, there's a special chair with arms on it
Josh.
there.
Right up here by Chad.
Do you have to, do you sign it? I don't know, no, I don't know whether you do or not. The most important person has to sign it. Matter of respect, we think you are.
We thought about that.
I was a Rose. Maybe I've only come from Joliet. Now Lincoln's wrong.
Good job, Lionel.
I know.
I have 4 hours to meet there in the bank. Getting cold out
Getting lighter too.
there. They were talking about how bad the roads are. I'd be surprised if they shut down the interstate.
We'll call the meeting to order.
Five.
Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Glad to see everybody coming out tonight on this nasty old cold weather. Hopefully we'll get some of the things done so we can get the guys that need to travel out of here and get going on the road before it gets too bad. We're gonna do some changes to the agenda. Did you wanna?
You ready? Okay, well, I'd like to move number 13, the sheriff's report, up under between 3 and 4. And then insert Chad from Great West Engineering right after the approve the disbursements. Between 7 and 8.
And then we also need to add whole business between 14 and 15.
Sorry.
Any other changes or additions? Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I make a motion, we accept the changes to the agenda.
Motion was made, seconded. Yes, the agenda is approved. Before we go on for public comments not on the agenda, let me just say that we moved the council vote to this meeting simply because I did not turn on the recorder at the workshop. My fault. I apologize to all the people that put in their letters of intent, but if we didn't make mistakes, stronger would be those counts. So we'll move on from there and hope everybody understands.
We have to hold on. Between the agenda. We had a motion and a second, we didn't vote.
Oh, we did, I thought we did.
You're right.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
It's approved. I just wanted to say that before we got started. So, do we have any public comments for those items not on the agenda? And let's be specific and brief. We don't want to be here all night. Tammy?
I'm gonna give you guys that. Anybody who'd like one, there's one of those, and if you'll pass these on down, and I'm gonna make this as brief as possible. I was here one other time, explained all of this. New council, I want to go over it briefly. This wastewater rate deal was done in 2014. We did not make it on there. None of our deals was on there. But if you look through there, and the ones that I have briefly on that one, there, Tim, you'll see on the Fromberg page, and it's about the center down there, little brief, Fromberg, Montana, with nothing filled in on it. But if you go to the back, and this is what I've tried to explain before, Fromberg does not charge equitably across the board. And here's the problem. There's a lot of these towns that are charging, just like you do, your gas meter, and then they charge you for whatever is metered through it afterwards. You don't get charged $6,000 or $10,000. There are some that still do that, but there's a lot of them that are charging the other way. The other problem is we're all being charged $65 straight across the board for our sewer. The family of 5, who's running way more than 2,000 gallons down that sewer line, is being charged the same amount as an individual senior citizen that probably isn't even running the 2,000 gallons down the sewer, and it is not equitable. I would really like to see a jump on this, and I know that you'd like to wait on it, but the problem is we've all been paying out of our pockets for a long time. And I think it needs to be more equitable, and I'd like to see it done in the next 2 months.
That might be a little problem, but I have talked to different cities that, and asked and gotten copies, you know, of their water rates, their multiplication factor, and how they use their water that goes down the sewer. And we will look at that closer on to budget time. But as it stands right now, because of the grant money and the loan that we got, we're gonna have to figure out a way to do that so that it's equitable and still be able to pay the loan back, because that was the only reason we got the grant and the loan.
Well, there's some of those, if you'll look through, and if you take the time, the deal's on the deal, if you look through, they charge so much for the extra sewer deal because they've got a sewer deal going in, then they do the, whatever the deal is, and then it's so much for your gallons that go down the sewer. There's one of them on there that was really smart, and what they did is, they did it from September to April. And they took that average in between September and April of what you were running down your sewer. And that's what they charged. Then May, June, July, August, that's what they charged, because then they wouldn't charge you for irrigation. But the reason I say I'd really like to see a jump on it before budget, I mean, deals like this is what causes class action suits and stuff. It gets nasty. I mean, you know, they're like, it's not equitable, why am I paying $65 and Joe Blow?
I feel the same way because I'm by myself.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just passing it along.
Yeah. But there, as I was saying, we'll look at it seriously, really, because I have gotten figures from other towns, and then from past experience, I've had my own configuration with water and sewer also. But we have to check and make sure that we're not usurping the state laws as far as grants and loans go. So we're gonna have to just look at that really seriously.
Well, that means we're paying for it then instead of we're the ones that's gonna suffer then if the state and the grants and loans don't
Just
obey, we
wait,
still
Dolly,
have
just
to?
a minute now. Tammy's got the floor, so wait just a second, and then I'll.
No, but that's all I kind of wanted to run by. I'd really like to see it looked at seriously.
We will. We will look at it very seriously.
How about,
And we'll do some checking and stuff, and I'll call a few agencies and see what's, you know, what we can do and what we can't do. But the reason that we started raising the rates in the first place, and we started in 2011 actually.
Oh, I understand that, and I totally understand it, but the
gradually
deal
raised
was
them.
it was never an equitable deal to begin with. I mean, you know, when you've
Well,
got,
they did it by percentages, and you can't do that, so you have to go by gallons that you use, and plus a multiplication factor of the gallons that go to the sewer, so, yeah. But we'll look at it, yeah.
how about putting aside or making a committee that would look at it or start looking at it
We can
Rather
discuss
than
that, but let's do that at the next meeting.
at the next meeting?
Yeah.
Look at a committee
We've
that,
got a lot on our plate tonight,
okay,
okay.
so if you want to be on a committee, let me know, and
okay.
I'll leave that with Brenda in the office. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Dottie,
I'm done.
I've got one.
Randy,
Something I read the other day, you probably are aware of it, but number 13, sheriff's report, to be moved up to right after the consent to agenda before public comments, so that,
I know, well, we
All right,
got off
with
track
his-
here with it.
I'm all right.
So do we
Well,
have
we
any
know that.
other comments? Anybody? Okay, let's move on then. Then we're gonna get ready now for the sheriff's report, so that Josh can get his stuff done and get back to Red Lodge. Before you get stuck in a storm.
It's actually Joliet.
Okay, well, it's gonna be
It's even
close.
worse this week, I think. Is this all right to stand in the corner?
Sure, you can stand anywhere you want, you can stand up here in front if you want to.
Very comfortable. So I think, and this is similar to what we do in Joliet, and I usually give that to the council when the clerk files it, but it's just a copy of what we talked about, kind of keeping track of what's going on over there, and that's public record, so. At the top, you'll see, these numbers really aren't meaningful right now, because we started that, signing the contract just recently. But as we get going, you'll see hours spent here and stuff, and really there's, just kind of shows you that we're here. And then in the different calls that have been here, some are law enforcement, some aren't, some are fire, medical, and our deputies may or may not be part of that. There's a couple traffic stops, there was, and Mike would probably know more, there was something over at the Cowboy Bar, a little fire or something over there.
Oh, the
And then we've had some,
Super Bowl night?
it was on the day after Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So this actually started on Christmas, because that's technically when we started covering for you guys, the contract was in place yet. So that's where they hit the high points. A lot of the medical emergencies, we've done some welfare checks over here. The deputies have made contact and no reason to proceed any further with them. But they are responding over here. I've been over here myself. There was the only other thing really that stands out is a threat harassment deal they're working on. And then some dog issues that actually when we were here yesterday, the undersheriff is handling that. Somebody came in and made a complaint, so he's following up on that. So that's kind of where we're at. There's just some other kind of we're working on getting sworn in with the judge. She's here on Wednesday afternoons. So a couple of us have got here, and it's just a matter of getting everybody. It's going to take a little bit of time. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll all be here working on cleaning out the office and making some changes there. We did have a meeting with Hope and Ralph and I, and it went very well. The transition's very good. Everything's positive. Everything's accounted for. So I think we're just trying to get going. So, if there's any concerns or questions, I think the
Had
biggest
positive feedback so far.
yeah, that's good to hear. And I think the biggest thing is just getting people to call dispatch in Red Lodge, which is hard to do when you're used to just coming down here. But they dispatch us, so it just happened to be we were here the other day. I think that's the biggest thing is getting the word out.
Yeah, like I said, we've had some real positive feedback so far, so.
Could I ask something really, I don't know if it'd be in your jurisdiction or what, Josh, but if you look on this side of town, coming in, there's the warning that goes 45 before it comes up the speed sign that says 45. And then if you go this side of town, there's the warning that says 45, but the 45-mile-an-hour deal doesn't hit until after Sue's, and I think that's a real danger.
It says like into speed zone or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's like that 45-mile-an-hour deal should be prior to Sue's when you get into those turns, you know, and people really hitting that speed.
You know, I know Darren Schaefer, the section manager for the state side. I'll just talk to him.
Okay, I'm
He can
sorry.
answer that question.
It's just.
It's a unique deal there, that way the signs are right there. So.
And there's not the same distance in between the warning that you're going from 45 down to the side as there is the other way.
Yeah, state's responsible for doing
Yeah.
that, but, I'll just mention it to them.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Anything else?
There's nothing else.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, I'd like to say thanks to Josh, because I've seen him out on the highway.
I have
I've not
too.
just, I've seen other deputies sitting out there running radar, and I thought, pretty good. Busted into town the other day and it slowed down real quick.
Well, we're trying, and, it's just working on getting it fine-tuned for you guys. Keep working on it.
Thank you,
Thank you, guys.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the appointment to the council. I think you can get him right after the minutes. Right after the minutes and the bills, yeah, which will be coming up very shortly.
Okay.
So let's go ahead with the appointment to the council. We'll have questions by the council, to the, people that are here that put in their letters of intent, and they'll be short and brief, answers short and brief, because we've already heard a lot of them. And then we'll have comments, public comments, short but brief, and please be recognized, so we don't overlap everything. And Jim, do you want to start?
Well, I asked all the questions I needed to know at our workshop, so maybe ask Randy what's his concern on, or what does he know about water and sewer, fixing the water and sewer, and what it takes to do that.
I've been in construction most of my life, but I don't have the least bit of interest in being questioned in front of all these people. I have privacy reasons. I think the whole meeting was a sham. The people should have been called in one at a time and this discussed with you guys. And how long have you been on council?
I don't know, 10, 12 years, something like that.
And you're
But I'm not
president.
gonna be questioned by you either, so,
I'm just asking a
okay,
question.
well,
You're president of the council.
yeah, I am.
And you've sat in as interim mayor a number of times.
Yeah.
Well, from all the research I've done and everything I've read, the meeting was a sham to begin with. It was not legal. And we can go, there's some hiccups in all this that you should have known and shut it down. And what happened to Lisa and what happened to me. And just like that, you have a letter of intent from me there?
Mhm.
Okay, well, I was not contacted, and I was not informed of the meeting, and I was not informed that it would be
Let me
voted on.
answer that, Randy. And I've answered you in a letter, I've sent you a reply in a letter, and I will say it again. I did not have a contact number for you in my file or on your letter. And I had told you in my letter of reply that I am not gonna call all over God's creation trying to find a contact number for you when you have been in contact frequently with several people in town, and you could have, it was your responsibility to get a hold of whoever to find out what was going on. If there was anything going on, you could have called Brenda and asked her if there was a meeting. The meeting was not a sham. It was my mistake because I did not turn on the recorder. But I will not be responsible for personal schedules. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you were out of town. I'm sorry you were ill. But I can't be responsible for that. We did not do a one-on-one interview because of time constraints. I have been so busy trying to get acclimated to this new position.
I've heard it all before.
I know
in
you
writing.
have. I know you have.
Well, I disagree. Brenda has my number, secretary. I get a water bill. She has my number. She calls me frequently. You can't ask Brenda if she has a contact number for me. I think that's weak and ridiculous myself.
And
Tim
there
Nottingham
again,
knows my number.
Whose responsibility is it to keep in contact with the town hall? If you want to be on the council, then you need to be responsible for that intent. I can't be responsible for everybody. And neither can the council. I'm sorry you feel that way. And I wouldn't want you to feel that way. You weren't discriminated against, you were not being ignored. So several people saw that post and knew what was going on long before you were contacted. And the people that knew that have been called frequently by you or talked to you frequently on the phone. So I'm sorry, I can't take any blame in that. I refuse to.
Well, I certainly didn't hear any council members bring up my name or the letter of intent and that it would be looked at.
We will at this meeting, and that is why you weren't here.
Well, I understand there was a vote held at that meeting.
No, there was not.
Yes, it
There was not a vote taken. It was moved to the council meeting. So, if you would like to have a seat, please, and we will get on with the letters of intent. If you would do that for me, I appreciate it. Okay, you done?
Yep.
Nate, you're good?
Well, since I wasn't here, I looked at the tape, watched the movie, what everybody kinda had to say. It was, I guess, hard at times to distinguish what was being said and how it was going, because a lot of times it was just people over talking other people. And you really had to listen to try to figure out what somebody was saying. I guess Heather is not here tonight, Heather Stam. She had a real hard time getting through. Just because there was so much so many things being said and done. I listened to what Bill Gruhl had to say. I liked what he had to say. I would like to know more about you, Bill. You're number 2 on our list here. Who are you?
Who I am, I've been here 50, 60, I don't know, I don't want to admit it. A lot of years. I worked in Bridger, Yellowstone Furniture Management for 35 years.
So you're a manager, that you've worked in this area for 35 years?
I had management up to my ears.
Okay, so you've managed that. How many people did you manage?
Anywhere from 10 to 60.
10 to 60. Schedules?
Schedules,
Budgets?
work schedules, shipping schedules, ordering materials, just-in-time delivery materials, long-term materials.
And budgets?
I spent the money, I let the secretary.
They told you how much and you got it?
They told me what I had. At times, we would have so much to pay and I'd tell them who to pay. I was up and down the ladder numerous times, but from mostly just plant and production manager, at times acting general manager, in between.
Okay, so you dealt with the people as well as just managed?
I've dealt with dealers, vendors, and work staff.
Okay.
Spent time on the road selling.
So
That
you
was
got
one of the jobs, sales manager.
sales experience as well?
At the one time I was production manager, sales manager, general manager, and chief cook and bottle washer.
You started at the bottom and worked your way up.
Right.
So you've experienced everything there is as far as